Joining us now to discuss this is legal analyst and attorney Darryl Cohen. Darryl, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks very much.
Darryl, we seem a long way away from help thy neighbor or just being able to pop over and borrow a cup of sugar. Do these shootings signal a culture shift, in your opinion? Why all these incidents all at once?
It's frightening and it's sad to me. And when we talk about stand your ground, it's really another word or phrase for self-defense. So the person using deadly force has to either be in imminent danger of being physically harmed or killed, or think he or she is. And in every one of these instances that I have seen, that is just not the case. And I don't like what's going on. It's guns here, guns everywhere. And we have to really be very, very aware that you don't just shoot people because you don't like people or you think you don't like people.
What are you seeing in your industry? Has the pandemic, is it the recession, making people more on edge or more paranoid these days?
I think because people were so by themselves, they were so isolated during the pandemic, they began to forget what it's like to interact with their neighbors and their friends and their acquaintances. But it ought to be changing now. The pandemic is over. People are going places. They're going to work. They're going to church. They're going to school. They're going to supermarkets. They're going to cheerleading. My daughter went to the same cheerleading in Orlando where this young lady, this cheerleader was shot before. Her friends are there now.
It's just horrifying. And you know, last year there was a study in JAMA Network Open that found that stand your ground laws across the country have resulted in an extra 58 to 72 homicides each month nationwide. Should we question stand your ground laws? And in any of these recent cases, in your opinion, does stand your ground actually apply? Darryl, are you still with us?
Definition of stand your ground. But again, I mentioned earlier, it's really self-defense. And in each and one of these instances, I don't see self-defense. Reaching for the door is not self-defense. Leaving leaving your parking lot, not self-defense. Leaving the driveway, not self-defense. So none of these instances have the people who are charged with a crime in imminent danger, and there's no way that a reasonable person or a reasonable jury, in my view, would find that they were in danger or thought they were in danger.
I think we certainly, Darryl, sorry to interrupt. I think we certainly understand the intent of a stand your ground law. In your opinion, do stand your ground laws embolden people in states where they apply to use firearms or deadly force and escalate things more quickly?
I do, because I think we've gotten away from self-defense, which is what it really is, to stand your ground, which is a more generic phrase that says, I have a right not to move. I am in fear. Well, the truth is that is not what the facts and circumstances show. So we have to educate the public, starting from the bottom, first grade, all the way up through college, to let people know that stand your ground really is self-defense. And unless you are physically in the harm's way, there's no way you should be using a weapon to shoot people. And when you use a weapon, whether you shoot to kill or not, there's a very good likelihood they're going to be killed or someone will be.
Okay. Darryl Cohen, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.